Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Tea with Me. Now, Amos Yee has been arrested in America for child pornography. If convicted, he could be deported. Now, there are many of his haters who are now celebrating, but I'm not here to praise him or to bash him. I'm just wondering what was on his mind when he was applying for political asylum in America. Now, if he had wanted a place with more freedom to express his opinions and to make his videos, then he might have picked the right place. But America, the land of Chris Hansen, is definitely not the right place to live out his pedophilic fantasies. With the presidential elections looming, a strange thought came to my mind. Amos Yee reminded me of a great American, Thomas Jefferson. Now, who was Thomas Jefferson? For most Singaporeans, we have first heard about him when our Prime Minister mentioned the term natural aristocracy. And the term natural aristocracy was first used by Thomas Jefferson, although our Prime Minister may have understood it in a different way from what Thomas Jefferson had meant. Now, let's take a look at some of Thomas Jefferson's achievements which make him such a great American. It would be no exaggeration to say that without Thomas Jefferson, America would not be what it is today. Professionally, I think he was a great president, but on a moral scale, I would rank him below the likes of JFK, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump. Why? Because I think there are quite a number of skeletons in his closet. Let's go back to the past when Thomas Jefferson was a 20-plus lawyer. He courted quite a number of women. Some of them were single, some of them were married, and one of them was even his friend's wife. But then he decided to settle down in 1772 by marrying a woman by the name of Martha Wayles. Martha Wayles was the daughter of John Wayles, a wealthy man from high society. When John Wayles died, Thomas Jefferson inherited a sizable plot of land along with about 120 slaves. He then gave up his law practice and went into politics, inspired by the likes of people like Patrick Henry, who very famously made the statement, "Give me liberty or give me death." In 1775, Thomas Jefferson was elected into Congress. The next year would be a defining moment in American history. Jefferson drafted the American Declaration of Independence. It was really a declaration of war. The British attacked. They invaded his office, they invaded his estate. Jefferson went into hiding, virtually abandoning his post as governor of Virginia. In 1782, the fighting had more or less ended, with the majority of the British troops having surrendered. But then a tragic incident struck the Jefferson family. His wife, Martha Jefferson, passed away 4 months after giving birth to their sixth child. Before she died, she made Thomas Jefferson promise that he would never remarry. Thomas Jefferson would keep that promise until his death, but then there is a twist. In 1785, Thomas Jefferson was re-elected into Congress, and he was sent to France as a commissioner to negotiate the terms of the Paris Treaty with the British. He later took over Benjamin Franklin as the American minister in France. While he was there, he gave a lot of advice to his good friend, the Marquess de Lafayette, on reforms in France. While in Paris, TJ went on a shopping spree. He picked up French finery and furniture and had them shipped back to America. He also feasted on French delicacies and delights, but he felt lonely as a 40-year-old widower with only his elder daughter to keep him company. So he sent for his slave, James Hemings. And the main intention for bringing James Hemings over was to get him to learn French cuisine. He also brought his younger daughter, Polly Jefferson, over. And apparently to keep his younger daughter company, he also brought over his 14-year-old mulatto slave by the name of Sally Hemings. Now that's when the story gets interesting. Now the juicy part is parentage of Sally Hemings. Her mother was a black slave by the name of Betty Hemings. Her father was none other than John Wallace. Yes, TJ's father-in-law. In other words, Sally Hemings was Martha Jefferson's half-sister. The Jeffersons returned to America in 1789 at the end of TJ's tour of duty. By then, Sally Hemings was 16 years old and pregnant. She would later have 6 children, believed to be fathered by TJ. Now, TJ did not refute any of the allegations, but some of his very politically savvy family members strongly denied it. But later on, he would have a couple of grandchildren who rather innocently remarked that some of the mulatto slaves born on his estate resembled their grandfather. The story was picked up by a journalist by the name of James Callender, and the scandals spread like wildfire. Now, in spite of having his reputation threatened by the free press, TJ did not muzzle it. He was probably the first president to be a victim under the First Amendment. DNA testing on TJ's descendants in 1998 concluded that Sally Hemings' children were in fact fathered by TJ. Now, Amos Yee was accused of exchanging compromising photos with a 14-year-old girl. Similarly, Sally Hemings was 14 years old when she was attending to TJ in Paris. Now, it would be quite laughable to see Amos Yee as presidential material, But I was wondering if he could have been misguided by TJ's example to think that something like that is still acceptable in America. If a president today were to do what TJ had done, he would certainly be impeached. So much for natural aristocracy. So that's all I have for you in this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you are interested to find out more about some of the books that I've written, do check out the link at Dewdrop Books found in the description. So till the next video, I'll see you again. Thanks for watching.